got quite the event here. Some of you may be wondering, what the heck are you doing at 1 o'clock in the morning streaming? And
Okay, how about now? That should sound a little bit better. Okay, some of you guys might be wondering what the heck I'm doing here at 5 o'clock in the morning. The answer is, it's the IRO Gran Turismo Endurance Championship Round 2 first stint for the second split, guys. So they're about to get started here. I'm about to start the race because I'm the race director, and you guys are going to get a nice little treat from my perspective. All right, so let me let these guys know. Oh my gosh, I almost ended the lobby. That would be so tragic. All right, so basically the way it works is, for the next 12 hours, these 14 teams will be competing to win the race and get as many points as possible. So we have Infinite Octane X Eclipse Racing in pole, followed by Poison Racing Team, DMR Endurance, 10 Tenths, Aero V2, Team Rad, Vez Racing Team, S7R Phoenix, Transatlantic Racing, Full Throttle Racing, Race Asylum 1, Speed Buddy Racing, Medway Racing League, and One Community by SBR, who are all racing today. All right, so with that being said, everything is good to go. These guys are going to do a formation lap, and then as the formation lap ends, the race will get started. And listen, I'm pretty excited about this. Hope you guys are too. Thank you guys for tuning in so early. But yeah, it's time. It's 5 a.m. on the East Coast in the United States. So that is my cue to go. So I hit the go button, and we're gonna check this out. So this formation lap, basically they will follow each other. No overtaking is allowed. Right? And then what will happen is Wrench will just lead everyone through at their own speed, right? So Wrench will come in, lead everybody, nobody overtakes, it's single file, all the way through up until the chase, which I'll remind them. I don't want anybody to get in trouble for messing this up. You know? Don't want to get a penalty this early. Not saying that anybody's in danger of, but you know, someone might forget, so that's what that is for. Yeah, so Wrench is leading everyone up the hill. One of the most challenging parts of the circuit, and you're gonna have to forgive me because I didn't study up on every corner. But yeah, this mountain section is, it is painful at times, man, especially the downhill part. You know, for those who watched Split 1 attempt this, you'll know that I did not participate because you know, let's just say there's no way I could do 60 laps around here without crashing around here. But yeah, as Wrench makes it to the downhill section, with everyone else in tow, At the end of chase, they'll slow up. Pack will bunch together. All right. So they're waiting, warming the tires up. Yes, good luck to everybody. So as we approach this right-hander here, they'll slow up. Yep. There you go. So then from here, wait, let me find the right button. There we go. They'll slow up. Everybody else should kind of catch up, get together. Right, so that way nobody's overtaking anybody else. Right? Let's see where P14 is. P14 is a little bit behind. This is not good. All right, well, back to the leader, who can start the race right now if they choose, but remember they can't overtake until the start finish. And there we go, we're off. Wrench getting a clear getaway into turn 1. Oh, already someone went off. Oh, we're gonna have to take a look at that. Let's see who are we looking at here? Johnny Waffle. No, oh, we got a situation here. P11. All right, let's take a look real quick. Something happened there, and already from P2. Oh, it looks like a little bit of a push out, but then old man pulled over to give the position back. So already some drama here as they make their way up the hill. Let's get back to the front. You can see Team Rad all over the back of 10 Tenths Racing. 10 Tenths Racing gaining a couple positions. They started P4 up to P2 now as they make their way down the hill. Most treacherous section of this track, man, and it's only the first racing lap of 59. 60. Yeah, but now overtakes can happen certainly more easily here, as you can see in the left-hand mirror there. Good morning. See how there's an opportunity for Slipstream to get overtakes done here, but then you have to be careful. This left-right combination is pretty tricky. If you get on the power too early, especially with a heavy fuel load. Oh, is a move about to happen here? Move was done. Okay, so we have a back and forth battle here between P2 and P3. There's another long straight to start the lap. Plenty of opportunities to overtake here. No need to do anything too risky, especially at the start of a 12-hour race. You can see here, oh my goodness, Moose here in P6 with an entire train of cars following behind. Let's take a look at this. See, there's a four-way battle here at the back. But it's looking like P14 is kind of off by themselves. Not too sure what happened there. Unfortunately, probably missed it by this point, whatever happened. Yeah, as they make their way up the hill, looks like there's a little bit of a gap between Walter and Johnny Waffle here. Let's take a look. Yeah, no damage for S7R. I didn't hit the keyframe, guys, so apologies. I'm not too sure what happened there, but it looks like Ricardus is all right in terms of damage, but you know they're gonna have a a little bit of catching up to do, but 9 seconds over the course of 2 hours is... Oh, gotcha. Okay, so that's what happened here, but they're only 9 seconds off of P13. The pack is for the most part still together. Let's check back in at the front here. Wrench with a 2.5 second gap to G Mantaneo, who is AKA Vez Racing Team, passed in the... Oh boy, it's too early in the morning, but for they're 2.5 seconds ahead of the number 16 car for Vez Racing Team. So they've done a good job to at least get away for now, while these two have a battle back and forth. Team Rad just behind in the BMW M6. So it seems like they've kind of settled in here. The Skyline behind, 10 tenths. Well, Skyline behind for Aero V2, and then 10 tenths behind them. So let's see, going down the grid, Moose 21 for Full Throttle Racing in the Porsche. Gaps are starting to open up a little bit. Bidian of Transatlantic in car number... Oh, a little bit of turbulence there. Going down the hill, but you know, again, it's just survive. It's just survive, you know? But good morning, everybody. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Azriel. Good morning, Neon. Good to see you. It's been a minute, man. How have you been? Just going through the order here. Race Asylum number 1, the Corvette of ERA Tonic here. Nice snazzy orange livery there, number 9. Shout out to number 9. That's my favorite number right there. Good morning. So I'm sure JP probably threw that together. Shout out to JP for a bomb livery there. Hercules here in a battle with MRL Johnny Waffle. Hercules racing in no problem. In that Lexus for Speed Buddy Racing, the 910 car. So just in a little bit of a train here as I cycle through the grid. Number 8, Nissan of Medway Racing League. And then we have Walter here, who started P2, but unfortunately had that incident on the first corner or the first lap. Went off, but you know, positions given back. But you know, they have a lot of work to do. Fortunately for them, they have 1 hour and 50 minutes. 11 hours and 50 minutes approximately to get that done. Now, let's see here. We got a battle in front. I don't know if anybody's trying to get an overtake done here between P10 and P9 here. But scraping the wall a little bit. No harm, no foul, no damage, right? That's what we care about here. And it looks like a little bit of oh boy. Oh, we got to take another look at that. Almost an incident there. Okay, let's take another look. Let's take another look at that. Coming up the hill, old man is right behind Walter there. It's probably a little bit too close. Yeah, and just has to take evasive action. Unfortunately for them, no damage. Though a couple positions lost, or one position lost in the end, but you know, it's just that just a position lost early on, no damage, right? That's got to be the goal for everybody right now. No damage. Definitely a smart choice, yes. Okay, so, and then to complete our cycling through the grid, We have S7R Phoenix, team member Ricardus here. Oh, with a little bit of front damage. Oh man, that's not great. That's not a great situation to be in this early. Probably gonna lose a couple seconds per lap, but again, it's stint 1, and I think being 6 laps in, and if you pitted already, you're gonna have to kind of you know, just tough it out until your next scheduled pit stop. I don't know if they can afford another full stop this early in the race, but you know, I'm not a race engineer. I'm just a race director who's trying to come up with things to say at 5:13 in the morning. All right, back to the front. The gap has closed between Wrench and Martineo here, very much so, such that it's probably a little bit of slipstream action as this car here for Vez Racing Team is closing the gap in the slipstream, running purple. We might get a sub 2-minute lap here. Oh, right up to the back, going into the final corner. Let me just have a sip of this coffee. Okay, not quite purple. Off by 17 thousandths of a second. But another dose of slipstream here. Oh, he gets a little loose. Oh, that could have been an opportunity right there to get the lead. You can see Wrench moving from the right to the left, back to the right again to try and break the slipstream, back to the left again to set up for the next corner. So I wouldn't necessarily consider that weaving, but I'm not a steward. Just preparing yourself for the corner is all. They're gonna make our way up the hill. Half a second between them, so we're gonna just stay here for a little bit, see if this overtake can be done. But yeah, and I love this stint 1 action. You know, inevitably, you know, there are gonna be some gaps that start to form, but right now it's popping off. But yeah, let's see how close you can get this number 16 car going down the hill. Gap right now is about 0.7 of a second. Closing in less than 0.4, 0.3. Oh, he's right on his bumper. All right, let's see. Which way is Wrench gonna protect? Wrench is gonna go to the left. Martinez is gonna go to the right. And I'm pretty sure Lexus on Lexus, this overtake is getting done unless Wrench holds on to that position. A little bit of a tap. Wrench is not going to send it. Tuck right in behind. Live to fight another day. And what's not lost in all of this is Team Rad's representative there in P3 in the 777 car, the BMW, right behind Wrench. Probably salivating right now at an opportunity to get an overtake done into turn 2 before they go up to the end of the mountain, but that's going to be difficult because the Lexus in front has the slipstream of another Lexus, and we know that Lexus can get up there in 5th gear. So for now, we got the top 3 nose to tail, making their way up the mountain. Probably going to be changing positions left and right, at least for now, until somebody breaks and makes a mistake. But Wrench right now is certainly feeling all the pressure, wanting to get that P1 back, but in constant threat of losing that to the BMW behind. And not too far behind that is Skyline. Just trying to get into this action with that Porsche. Currently doing a good job of little by little making inroads, right? Setting purple sectors. Currently has the fastest lap in that Porsche. Really moving. You can see just at the end of the frame there, coming into the chase that he's gonna want that pole position or that P1 for himself. Okay, so the top four all together, and then looking at this, we might have you know, a second gap here, right? As these top four start to clump up together. We look at P5, Moose all over the back of P5, Tonic all over the back of P6, another four car battle here. So we have a group of four, and then the rest seem to be a little bit spread out in the mini map. But look at Tonic, not necessarily going for a move, just giving himself a little bit of space. He wants to get a good exit here. Use that Corvette power to take advantage here. But Moose is sitting right in the slip of 10/10 Racing J-Set. Is he gonna go for a move? No, surely not there. So this section is where I personally think the Porsche in front will excel, right? Anything with tight corners, right? You can see that Moose is all over the back of J-Set there. Corvette is just trying to stay close until we get to the next long straight where, you know, he can put that American horsepower to use. But, you know, he can't make a mistake like Moose just did there. Is he going to go for the overtake? No, he's going to think wiser of it. It was really tough to get something done there. So for now, 10/10 Racing appears to have created at least a little bit of a gap to not be under threat as we go down the mountain here and approach the chase. But Moose might be more of a sitting duck as long as Tonic here can get a good exit here. One of the more difficult corners on the track, and it looks like he did just enough. However, he's got a Lexus that's a little bit closer to him than he is to the Porsche in front. And just lurking there in the background is Medway Racing League's Johnny Waffle, looking to become a part of this and make it a 5-car battle. But no positions changed, not quite yet. Okay, so we're gonna have to go back and forth to the front. This 4-car battle is still holding tight. Rad just sitting in the slipstream of the Lexus in front. Not quite close enough to get an overtake done, but actually I might be mistaken here. Let's see. Is he gonna try it around the outside? No, not quite. That would have been optimistic, but Wrench is just under all sorts of pressure right now as Martineo just drives off into the distance. Team Rad looking to make some moves, looking to put the power of 777, the good luck, to use. Let's see here. As I take another sip of coffee. Let's see if he gets this overtake done in the chase. Oh, Wrench getting a little sideways. Rad getting a little sideways. Just survive this last corner, guys. Survive this last corner here, and then you can breathe for at least a little bit. Well, Wrench can. But Rad, he might be breathing a little bit easier if he gets this overtake done. So they're he's right behind. There's no better chance than this right now. Side by side. Overtake done. Okay, and Wrench is going to tuck in behind. We'll come back to this very shortly after they get through 2 more corners. I just want to check on see what's going on here between P5, P6, P7, P8. It looks like they're all single file right now, going through the going to the end of the chase. The last couple corners here, and it looks like no, we didn't miss any overtakes here. They're kind of just hanging tight for now. And then checking in with Wrench again here at the front as Skyline. Skyline is definitely in the picture now. Skyline is definitely in the picture now here. Yeah, so Wrench, despite starting pole, has been moving backwards in the order, which is not great to see, but it's still early, even in the first stint. So now's not the time to get too down about something like that. It's just to put in the laps, protect your car, follow the strategy, hand it off. There's going to be plenty of time to move back up. As we saw in stint 1, as my friend Toon would say, literally anything can happen, and anything did happen as the leaders of the race ran out of fuel, and an over 1 minute gap gave up that lead to the eventual winners of the race. So you just got to keep your head on straight, get the laps in. If you have a race engineer, follow instructions, be in tune with what's going on with your tires, with your fuel, what lap you're on. Just be aware of all of that. Okay, so looking at the situation right here, it looks like Moose is definitely in the slip of 10/10's J-set here. Not close enough to get an overtake done unless he's nope. Thinks smarter of it. Moose does. All right, you can see Tonic just waiting patiently there. I think Tonic is like, let me wait and see what happens here, and then I can just pick up all the spoils afterwards. But Moose certainly has a run here, and he might not go for it in turn 1, but if he gets this corner correct, yeah, I think J-Set just did just enough there to hold on to that position going into turn 2. So Moose will likely have to wait another lap unless he goes for an absolute dive bomb here, which of course that wouldn't be recommended. J-Set getting a little loose on the curb there. Moose has got a little bit of a run, but with 2 uphill left-handers that are really tight corners here, definitely don't want to make too much of a mistake. The name of the game is just keep it close and then wait to see if you can get an overtake done in a more safe place. All right, so it looks like that series of corners definitely gave a little bit of a gap, and now Moose went from, hey, I'm about to overtake this guy in the straight, to hey, I'm about to lose this position to Tonic. And something happened to oh man, Johnny Waffle. Oh man, I missed it, guys. I'm sorry. Tonic didn't get quite a good enough exit here to chase Moose down. But again, as long as you have no damage, you're in a good spot. So let's see. Johnny Waffle there. Oh man. Oh man, what? Oh wow. Okay, overtake done. Not sure what happened there as to how he lost the position in the first place, but we just got back to it in time to get the overtake back. Let's see if Johnny Waffle is gonna get some revenge between turn 1 and turn 2. As you can see, tire wear is starting to come into play, especially on those soft tires. I do believe almost everybody was on the soft tires as we have our first, let's say, scheduled pit stop by Bidian there. Let's check that out. Oh boy, something happened here. So it wasn't scheduled. This is just unfortunate that we have a pit due to damage. So that's gonna alter the strategy here, and then that's gonna also give the opportunity to the Lexus here. To get an overtake done? No, not quite. But the gap is closing, but not enough. And then as we go down the grid here, we have at 7R Phoenix's Ricardus going into turn 1. Okay, just trying to put the laps in. Currently a 20-second gap. 23-second gap. I need to full screen this so I can see it better. Bear with me, guys. There we go. That is what we are talking about now. Much better when it's full screen on my computer in front of me. So yeah, it's a 20.1 second gap here. Going back to the front. 2.1 second gap. Uh-oh. Do you see that? You guys saw that in the background here? Skyline with the overtake on wrench. Let's see if we can find where that happened. It was already done going into turn 1. But Skyline, slowly but surely, making moves here. Started 4th, started 5th for Aero V2 Endurance. Now currently sitting 3rd, and it's just pounding the laps in. Now, the last time I covered IRO as a race director was Stint 8 of Daytona, and a lot of familiar faces. A lot of the same racers here in Stint 1 for Bathurst, and I can tell you Skyline and oh man. Okay, we'll take a look and see what happened there. I keyframed it. You can see that I saw that Skyline and oh man were 2 of the faster racers in that stint. So it definitely seems like Skyline came to play. Okay. Let's take a look and see. So oh man right here. The run. Neither of them have damage, so it looks like it might have just been a little bit of a mistake. So P8 in the slipstream of P7. Okay. So I did keyframe it once you guys said something. Let's see if he gets an overtake done here. It looks, oh, he's going ultra aggressive into the final corner. He's got the inside line, so almost certainly that overtake is going to get done. But he files in right behind. Now, in terms of the top speed advantage, the 1010 Lexus definitely has a higher top end than the BMW. So it just depends on if oh man can, you know, kind of do a little bit of left to right, back to left again, and you know, hopefully he got enough of an exit that 10/10ths can't send it into this upcoming right-hander here, and it looks like that is the case. Okay, so quickly before anything else happens, let's look and see if we can see if something happened here. So for she just looks like he dropped back. Doesn't look as though we caught it quite in time, guys. Apologies for that. Yeah, you can see that old man had quite the run on him. Yes, that is true. Tonic started in P11 here and is already up to 6th. Let's go check in with them really quick. It's closing in on Moose 21, who's now up to 5th. Yes, and using that American horsepower, that Corvette C7, America. Looks like Moose is next on the hunt list here. I can only imagine that the Porsche can do so much But get all the way up there, you know, Moose started in P10. So we have P10 up to P5, P11 up to P6. So these two are both making good moves for their respective teams, for Full Throttle and for Race Asylum number 1. So good stuff there. We'll check in on that for sure. Wrench here, right behind Skyline, who's trying to move all the way up to P2, just 16 laps into the race. And it looks like nothing, absolutely nothing, is going to stop Skyline from making moves up here for the Aero V2 Endurance team. The number 2 car is trying to get to P2 right now. And just 5 seconds away from the lead, but you know, this three-way battle is yes, Moose is definitely doing good work there. But yeah, Skyline here, oh, as Rad just gets a little loose on the exit there, but he did a good enough job through most of that downhill section to give himself quite a gap. And you can see 6/10 to Wrench behind. So Wrench is just trying to stay in the battle, stay with it, right? Because you know, we haven't even approached the first set of scheduled pit stops yet. These guys also started on full fuel, right? Normally in stints after this one, the racers will do an out lap, go back into the pits, and then await their teammate to come into the pits at the end of this first stint. They start with 5% or 5 liters. It's both, right? For some reason in this game, every car carries 100 liters of fuel. They sit there in the pits and then refuel strategically for whatever their strategy is. So these guys have probably a little bit different of a strategy to account for, just because of the fuel load. But you can see, I believe everyone in the entire field, you know, I'll just swing through it quickly here. Everyone. We have damage here. Who has damage? Oh, that's unfortunate. Yes, everyone here is on the same tire, so you know, we'll just see how long people can make their tires last and see if anyone dares to use the medium tire. Now, I believe there are no such requirements for this race. We have a disconnect. 10/10 Racing. There's a disconnect. Yeah, there's a disconnect. Ray, do your thing. 10/10 Racing. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Lap 17. Yeah. 10/10. That's so. Oh man, you hate to see it. Okay. Unfortunately, you know, they'll have to just get themselves back into stint 2, likely behind the rest of the field, considering how early on in the stint we are. Yeah, it's so disheartening. Oh yes, looks like the overtake was done, and Moose is now under threat from O-Man, who's just been lighting the timing screens this entire time. So got some movers and shakers for sure. 5, 6, and 7, you know, they're doing what they need to do. Yeah, if we look at between P5, P6, P7. You know, they're all managing to hold on here despite similar tire wear. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens here with the first round of pit stops, is if anyone's going to go for an over and undercut. But yeah, Tonic just certainly making moves here. A 15-second gap to P4 though, so we might be talking about him threatening the leaders at the end of the race, provided that, you know, he keeps the paint from being scratched on the number 9 car there. You see he's already widened the gap well out of slipstream range. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, going back to the leader. Oh, we have our first pit stop. No damage coming in Skyline on lap 18. So Wrench is going to inherit that P3. But yeah, we're going to start seeing some pit stops here. Now, you know, we've done 19 laps, so we pit at the end of lap 61, so it's probably looking, if I had to guess, as a 2-stop, right? 2-stop strategy, but might have some in here who are going to try something different. Who knows? All right, so okay, so JP did make that livery. Gotcha. I saw the livery for Daytona. It just sparkled in the middle of the night. I was like, man, that's a really good one. So, you know, I don't know if it was orange back then. It seemed like it was kind of like blue, but let me stop waxing poetic about a livery, albeit a really good-looking one. We have several good-looking ones, including Pasta here. The two-tone. Big fan of the two-tone of Martineo's car here. In the lead. Starting from P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and up to P1, the number 16 car for the Vez Racing team. Just maintaining the gap at 4 seconds right now. So behind him, Team Rad in the first BMW, the Lucky 777 car here. All right, they are staying out. So 19 laps completed, starting lap 20. They're out and either going long or at least for another couple laps. Wrench doing the same as they make their way around turn 1 in that infinite octane Eclipse Racing green Lexus. Looking at Tonic, who's now P4. Yeah, well, not another. There was only one DC from 1010s. J-Set had to disconnect. Tonic here in P4 with Moose not too far behind, under big time threat from O-Man in P6, as Skyline, who already did a pit stop, is threatening the two of them. So we're looking at a situation where P4, 5, and 6 are under threat to be a pit stop down to Skyline here. So again, you know, I'm not sure of anybody's strategy here. You know, I'm just observing, like you guys. Oh boy! Ooh, almost a Code Brown moment here. Oh man, definitely trying to keep it close to Moose 21 here in P5. Scrapes the wall just a tad bit, scrubs off a little bit of speed here, but this corner probably the most important corner in the whole track. Moose gets a little loose. There's a little touching of the wall there, or maybe net code. And look at Skyline right behind. You can see him in the rearview mirror. He's just gaining on fresh tires. There's pretty much nothing that can be done to stop this. Even with the slipstream of Moose, this is going to be, yeah, easy work for Skyline there on fresh tires. So wrench into the pits. So now we're going to see these two go into the pits. Moose, O-Man into the pits. Skyline, Tonic is in the pits. So Skyline, who pitted on lap 19, is in a competition to see who's going to come out of the pits first between them and Wrench, but it should be easy pickings here. Skyline has been setting the timing screens on fire, and it's a done deal with Wrench just coming out of the pits now. So a 4.8, 4.9 gap that's going to be increasing just because of the speed coming out of turn one versus the speed coming out of the pits. Obviously there's going to be a delta there. So going into turn two here, we're looking at a 5.1 gap that Wrench is going to have to try and make up here to get back into a podium position. 14 seconds behind that, which is a little bit closer, right? So before going into the pits, Tonic, I believe, was something around 17 seconds the last time we looked at him. Coming out of the pits, it's down to 14. Maybe it was 15 down to 14, but surely making gains now, and on a fresh set of softs, definitely going to make some more gains because it's lower fuel load, brand new tires. Let's go. That's what the folks at Race Asylum got to be telling Tonic. Full throttle racing. Moose still here, pushing with that Porsche. Good results so far. Obviously, it's only a third into this Stint's, well, roughly a third into this Stint's race distance. And to have made up enough positions to get to P6, you know, if nothing else changed about this and I was a member of Full Throttle Racing, I would be happy about this. But we look at this, the top two, okay, the top two are going into the pits. So we're just going to cut to P3 and see if Skyline has done enough by undercutting these guys by 2-3 laps. If there's enough there to inherit the lead and have the number 2 car come out as number 1. So he just started refueling now. P1 refueled like 1%, so that must have been accidental. So P1 is out. P2 is just coming out. Okay, the overtake is done. So he did enough to put the car, number 2 car, into P2. But he has 5.7 and closing to try and get that car all the way into the lead. From, where did he start? He started P5. So the number 1 car, still number 1, new tires, so tire advantage to P1. So he's going to be looking to increase that gap and be able to hand over to Stint number 2 for the best racing team. I know it's still early. We still have 39 laps of racing left. Okay, and you know, 16 car is like, let me get away from these guys. It's already back up to 6.2 and increasing. So good stuff there. Looking at this gap, oh, a half-second penalty for Skyline there. Let's see if we can find out where he got it. But almost certainly he's going to lose this position unless something happens here out of this corner to Rad. But yeah, Skyline, who just got P2 with the 2-lap undercut, is certainly going to hand it back here now. Or is he? Okay, yes, he is. He is. Team Rad is certainly close enough. Skyline's going to tuck back in and try to get that position back. Not quite right here. Is he going to go for it into the last corner? He has a little bit of run. He certainly has a run. Okay, he's going to tuck back in. Let's see if we can get where he got that penalty from. He already had it coming up the hill, so it must have been that going up the hill. There's that there's a double left-hander and then a right-hander, and I think that right-hander No, the second left-hander might be a spot if you go wide where you can get that that penalty. Okay, so Wrench is 4 seconds behind here. Right, kind of just in a lonely race right now. Tonic's still 14 seconds behind, so that gap hasn't changed too much. Wrench is holding steady here to try and keep that P4 position, but you can see Skyline is all over the bumper of Team Rad. Just looking through the grid to see if there's any other side-by-side action, and it looks like the gaps are pretty much holding steady. Yeah, so it looks like everybody else is spaced out right now based on what's going on with the mini-map. Man, if I had a request from, I could give one request to PD, is that for the mini-map, just put the position numbers on those little triangles there, so that way we know where to cut the camera to. Okay, so Skyline here, 8/10ths behind. Got a little bit of run now, has the slipstream here. But I doubt that it's going to be quite enough to get this overtake done. We're looking at 7/10ths. So we come through the chase. Down to 6/10ths. Yeah, not quite close enough. So really quickly, we're just going to go through the rest of the grid as is needed for race director duties. Moose fighting with Oh Man right now. Desperately trying to hold on to that P6. Oh Man just behind. A 6-second gap to Johnny Waffle. Right. So as we go further down the grid, it seems like it's spacing out. 15-second gap to Bidian. Poison Race Team. Walter 6.4 seconds behind him. Hercules in the Speed Buddy racing car, P11, 25 seconds behind them. Ricardus, Sector 7, Phoenix, 3.2 seconds behind. And then 10.7 seconds behind them is the 13th place car, excuse me. The 911 car of One Community by SBR, the Panda livery. Okay, so let's see. We're looking at this battle simultaneously, P3 and P2. 8/7 of a tech, 0.87 seconds. Just sitting tight for now. And then we have P7 trying to attack P6. And that gap looks a little bit closer. So if Oh Man can get a good exit out of here in this BMW, the number 24 BMW of DMR Endurance, it's not a move might be on, but it looks like Moose got a much better exit. As you can see, Tonic just driving off in the distance there. It's got eyes set on Wrench and P4. That nice green Lexus that started pole for Infinite Octane Racing. But yes, Oh Man, 1.1 behind Moose. Let's go back to the front here. Got Skyline 4/10ths behind. Trying to get that number 2 car into P2 for IRO V2 Endurance. And it looks like it's just a matter of time now. You know, if I'm Team Red, I'm telling Tinten, listen, he pitted 2-3 laps before you. His tires are going to go off sooner. Just hold that position, keep him in the turbulent air, and eventually you'll be able to make your getaway. Start focusing on trying to catch P1. The two of them, you know, slowly but surely are losing ground right now, and they're not exactly battling, but, you know, Martinello there clearly has a pace advantage right now, as he's, 8.3 in front of Skyline, and just by my calculations there, he's 7.3, 7.4 in front of Brad. But you can see there that already following the turbulent air is just making it so difficult for Skyline to close that gap. So hopefully they're not kicking themselves too much right now for getting that half-second penalty, because it's definitely a master stroke to pit early and get that P2, but now you're in a tire disadvantage and sitting in dirty air. So thinking that the next pit stop might be an opportunity to get an undercut, come out in clear air, put some laps down, excuse me, and then see if you can get that undercut the second time around. So yeah, 7.4 to Martinello in front for Team Rad, as he sets a purple first sector. So good turn one exit will do that for you. Let's see if you can keep that pace up as he heads into the mountain section. Skyline still there, still lurking, waiting for any one slip up, because that's all it takes. Yeah, sorry, bro. Sorry, Josh. Oh, whoa. What was that? Let me see what that was. What was that? Okay, maybe maybe. Yeah. I know. I'm still sorry though, because I can understand the frustration. I thought I saw something, guys. I must be tripping. I did not get enough sleep last night. Funny thing about that is that I set an alarm for 4:10 a.m. To make sure I was good, and then I set a backup alarm for 4:20 a.m. just in case somehow I slept through the first one, because I was like, I gotta create this lobby at 4:30 a.m. Eastern, and I guess I was so excited for this race that I woke myself up at 3:50 a.m. and I was like, what am I doing, bro? Could not go back to sleep. Just was like, all right, well, we're up now. We're up. That's how we're doing it. Oh man, but hey, good time here. Only a 10th off of the fastest lap. So Skyline is just playing the patience game, but despite being a 10th off of fastest lap, P2 is not he's not a slouch here. 10:10 is not a slouch. He said in 2 minutes, high 2 minute, low 2 minute ones. So he's out here doing things too. And if you were paying attention the last time I talked about the gap to the leader, which is not too long ago, it was at 7.4 seconds. So the two of them collectively are gaining on the leader. Not by much, but a little bit each lap. We still have how many laps to go? 34 laps to go. So we're not even at half race distance. And oh man, just as I said it, commentators cursed. They lost a little bit of time there. But yeah, that gap can easily be made up over the second half of this race. All right, so time for a couple checks here. Leader out in front, just trying to stay steady, increase that gap as much as possible. We have Team Rad P2, the Skyline of IRO V2 Endurance right behind him. Currently not exactly threatening to do an overtake. Behind them, 5.9 seconds, increasing to 6, likely because of the slipstream. Oh, is he gonna go for this move? No, not yet. So, I think if I was in that number 2 car, I'd be thinking as he sets up purple, fastest lap of the race in the slipstream of that BMW, I'd be thinking two things. You either got to make a decisive overtake here because you're being held up, or you take note of the fact that, you know, behind this BMW, you just set the fastest lap of the race. So maybe you consider working together, little bump draft here and there, so that way the two of you can close that 7.5 second gap down and then make it a three-way fight for the lead. But we'll come back to this this battle soon enough. Actually, hold on. Okay, now they're right behind each other. Just going through the gaps here. Wrench gets a little squirrely. 6.0 behind 13 to Tonic. So Tonic making some inroads. A couple laps ago it's at 14 and a half. Now it's at 13 and a half. Tonic making moves in the number 9 Corvette. Yeah, making moves in the number 9 Corvette here. 3.3 seconds to Moose, who's holding on to P6 barely from O-Man, keeping the BMW of O-Man at bay. O-Man just behind him. MRL Johnny Waffle in P8, 9.8 seconds behind P7. As O-Man sets a purple sector 2 here. Moose getting a little bit of wiggle. O-Man is fitting to call this driver, because every time I cut to him, something worthy of making me say, "Oh man," is happening. Now for sure, Moose is going to lose this position. Already the BMW moving out of the slipstream, tucking back in, going back to the side. Does the number 24 car here of DMR Endurance have enough pace? He's tucking back into the slipstream again. I wasn't aware that the BMW had such a lack of straight line pace that he had to tuck into the slipstream twice and still could not get that move done. As he goes on to the grass, no! Oh no, no, no! Oh no! Oh no! My goodness. He's gonna lose P7 here, likely to MRL Johnny Waffle. Oh my goodness. He's lucky to just have wheel damage there. I suppose he was just pushing a little bit too hard, but coming out of this turn 1, Johnny Waffle's going to have the run for sure. 0.5 seconds, 0.6. Looks like he got just enough here. We'll stay with this until turn 2. And then maybe for a second we can just take a look from a different angle as to what happened here with this BMW, the number 24 BMW of DMR Endurance. Okay, so just coming out of the chase, this right-hander, he just went a little bit wide, so he didn't lift early enough, and boom, just like that. You know, he's just trying to get close because he did have a speed advantage. But it looks like just patience, just the patience ran out just a little bit there, and he didn't lift early enough. But it looks like the front tire damage of O-Man hasn't slowed his pace that much. He's been able to hold on to P7, or at least to this point. That gap was down to 0.6. Now it's back up to 1.2, 1.3 as I speak. So it looks like Moose 21 is safe for now in P6. Going further down the grid, the gap for Biden is 21 seconds behind MRL Johnny Waffle, 10 ahead of Poison Racing Team Walter 784. Gaps are starting to space out. 19 seconds to Hercules of the Speed Buddy Racing Team, with a 13.8 second gap to the One Community Racing car, a Panda car, the Lexus, the 911 here. And then bringing up the rear, Sector 7 Racing Phoenix, the Aston Martin of Ricardus LTU. Okay. So it looks like, despite me being away from this little battle right here, Skyline trying to get this overtake done on Rad 1010, excuse me. My goodness, this is been so tense here. Rad has just been soaking. Team Rad has just been soaking up this pressure here from Skyline, the number 2 Porsche, just trying to apply all sorts of pressure to the Rad 777 BMW. And you can see there, wrench in the background, just trying to take advantage of this battle between P2 and P3. I mean, they certainly look much closer. Infinite Octane, Eclipse Racing, Lexus. But, on Skyline, yeah, maybe now's the time. And it is the time. Skyline up the inside, leaving room on the outside for Team Rad. Just slips right in front there. But, Skyline's definitely going to be under threat here if Rad can get Team Rad 10-10 can get a good exit. And it looks like he did just enough. Morning, GT. Yes, there. Okay, so looks like we have our first blue flag situation, or trying to see here. Let's see. Is that a pit stop? Yes, that was a pit stop. So it wasn't an actual blue flag. We're gonna have our first blue flag of the race coming up here soon, as Wrench is making their way up the mountain there for Infinity Octane. So there are designated blue flag zones that the drivers have to abide to. None of them exist on the mountain. They're on the straightaways here. I'm gonna see if I can pull that up for you guys. So those straightaways are the chase between turns 19 and 20. The start-finish straight between turn 23 and turn 1, and then also between turn 2. So if you're not on one of those long straightaways, you're not going to be expected to move out of the way. And as you can see, the blue flags do show up on the corners, but it doesn't appear as though Wrench is close enough. So, okay, looking at this battle, these guys are going back and forth. 10-10 is not giving up on trying to get this position back from Skyline, and is just hanging it in there for now. You can see the tire wear is starting to become a factor. The front right tire of 10-10 looking like it's becoming an issue, and then the same tire, although more evenly spread, for the Porsche of Skyline. You can see that hitting a couple laps earlier might rear its head here as we start lap 32 of 61 racing laps. Reminder, at the end of this stint, at the end of lap 61, oh, we have a little bit of contact. Team Rad was good to just back off for a second there, because you definitely don't want to carry on in that situation, because you might end up getting penalized for a push to pass. So he wisely backs off, but oh my gosh, he's so close. Is he? No. Surely he'll wait until the chase. Just try to get a good exit there and get the overtake done on the straight. Oh my goodness. No damage there from Skyline, but he lost the position. He's gonna have to tuck back in and try to get this position back. Oh my goodness, that was so close, guys. I thought for sure that we might have a race-altering incident here. He's 5/10 in, but let's just look and see how close that was. You see the BMW all over him. There's not much more pressure than you can apply than that. And as they go down the hill, it just gets a little bit loose. And fortunately, very fortunately, he does not have front bumper damage. and he's going into the pits. So another undercut attempt here. So we'll have to pay attention to this for when Tin 10 does his pit stop. As Tonic comes around the final corner. We haven't looked at Tonic in quite some time, actually. And as we do, obviously there's a pit stop difference between these two. But for the moment, Tonic is going to gain another position up to P4. And remember, Tonic had started P11, correct me if I'm wrong, right? So you know, we have quite a situation here with Tonic, just steadily making gains. Not too much drama in the last half an hour or so, just putting down lap time consistently, following, you know, the strategy to a T, staying out of trouble. And that definitely yielded an 8.7 gap between him and Moose. So now we're gonna see here Skyline, who completed their second pit stop, likely of 3, is just behind Moose 21. So surely in the next lap or two, Skyline is going to catch. But we need to just be aware that Skyline's battle is currently with P2 to see if he can get that overtake done here. Okay, so while that's happening, guys, I'm gonna just put it onto the hood cam for a second. Unfortunately, real life things happen, and I need to let my dog out before you know, accidents happen. So I will be back in a minute. We're just gonna stick with Skyline here. Appreciate your patience, or maybe you're just having a break from me talking for the past hour plus. Okay, crisis averted. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, so Skyline here has not quite, oh my goodness. You want to talk about a gap closing. Just in that corner alone, 3/10. Surely this has got to be the lap. Any more than this, and Skyline's going to be kicking himself from being held up by Moose as Moose goes a little bit on the corner there. The run is there. Inside position for corner 1, and just like that, it's done. You know, brand new tires will do that for you. You know. Okay, so if we're looking at this, it's a 38 seconds to the lead. Okay, 38 seconds to the lead, and there's a 10-second gap to P2. So we're looking at 28 seconds between 1010 in P2 and Skyline in P5. As blue flag situation was obeyed, even though it was not necessarily a position where it had to be done, but good stuff by one community, by SBR. It just get out of the way as soon as possible to not hold up the Lexus here of Matineo from the Vez Racing team. Pasta. Okay, so looking at the situation here with 1010 for Team Rad and the 777 BMW has not pit yet. Yeah, so we have a situation here where we're just gonna see whether a 2-stop or a 3-stop is going to work out here. 8.6 to Wrench behind, right? Who just got past the Sector 7 Racing Phoenix team the last time we looked in there for Infinity Octane Racing. 19 seconds to the lead. Tonic, who was sitting in P4, is still in P4, right? With Skyline behind, who just completed their second scheduled pit stop, likely of 3. Tonic, not on that type of strategy. So we're just gonna see, for Tonic, what you're considering here for Race Asylum 1 is, okay, Skyline is going to catch, right, because he's on newer tires, but you both have 1 pit stop left, right? So you're trying to hold up Skyline as much as possible, because in the end, you guys have the same strategy from here on out. 1 more pit stop. You can see Skyline just in the time that I've been focused here on Tonic. I think that was a 9-second gap from when I first started talking. Now it's 8.1, going up to 8.2, but you're gonna see the difference between new tires and worn tires right here. So it's just a matter of how long can Tonic prevent Skyline from getting the overtake, and then when they both do their final pit stop, we'll simply just see which car has what it takes to hold on to that P4 or higher. Okay, so Skyline making gains, like I said before, with Moose now 2.6 seconds behind. Remember, last lap, first corner, Skyline got this position back. But Moose holding steady in P6. Again, a good turnout. All things considered, where they started in P10, so gaining 4 positions. Again, if nothing else happens, is a good result for the Full Throttle Racing team. With O-Man recovering, and holding on to this P7 despite the front driver's side tire getting damage on the exit of the corner after the chase, right? He was all over the back of Moose 21, but just got a little bit too heavy on the throttle, went wide, and then crashed into the barrier and got himself spun around. So, we're gonna see if he, even with this damage, can make some gains on P6. Okay, P8, Johnny Waffle holding steady for Medway Racing, right, with a 50-second gap to Bidian behind. So there's no pressure on Medway, right, in terms of losing a spot. It's pretty much just keep your head down time for that number 8 Nissan. Get the car to the end, no mistakes, consistent laps, and then hand it off. Kind of in a similar situation here for the number 93 car of Bidian, right? Just get that Lexus to the end. You have quite a gap in front, but you know, you're still in the first of 6 stints, right? So you just want to be able to hand it off to your teammate, and there's not really too much of a threat behind right now from P10. So you just want to get those laps in. We got a blue flag situation here for the One Community Racing 911 car, and that's their number, not a Porsche Lexus, but 911 is their number. So you're gonna see there's a car in the background. They're not quite close enough. 2 cars in the background. We're gonna see soon that he's gonna have to pull over, and I just missed it there in the background. Trying to see who that is as we have Moose going into the pits. Okay, the number 2 car of Rad. So this is gonna affect Team Rad here. They're gonna want to get past this car as quickly as possible, because again, they're in a battle right now with Skyline, who's net P5, and technically Tonic too, who also has likely one more pit stop to go. Okay, so where was I? Okay, we have Walter here for Poison Racing Team. Okay, another Lexus here, who's currently closing in on One Community, right? 1.7 behind, and I think he's pretty much taking advantage of the fact of that blue flag situation. He had to kind of slow down quite a bit, right? So now there's a 1.7 gap. So, you know, we're gonna see, yeah, it's going down even further. So this P10 and the P11 battle is gonna be something in a little bit here. Looking at Sector 7 Racing, Ricardus LTU, making some gains here, 59 seconds ahead of P13 Hercules. So if we're looking at this now, Hercules here in a blue flag situation is going to have to yield to Moose here, and does so. Indicates that he's going to the left, moves over to the left, and Moose 21 is going to go by. You can see Hercules is 3 minutes 26 seconds behind, so 1 lap down to the leader, 1 lap down to everyone, P8 and up. Okay, so going back to Rad, who's making their way past P10 for lap traffic. You know, still setting down some decent lap times. The pace is falling off a little bit. 202s, 201s, right? Tires are worn. The fuel is low. So, you know, I'm thinking for sure there's going to be a pit stop coming soon. He started to lose a little bit of a gap there to Wrench. That might have been a result of the blue flag situation. You can see P10 and P11 in the background there. So two more cars that are no longer on the lead lap. Yeah, let's see if he goes into the pits right now, and then we'll see how that situation affects Wrench, Tonic, and Skyline, because those three are they're kind of locked into you know, kind of a battle here. We're gonna cut to Wrench now, who's 9.7 behind. Okay, and look at that, guys. Look at that. How long ago was it that we were talking about Tonic being 15 seconds, 14 seconds, 13 seconds behind Wrench? Now Tonic from P11 up to P4, 9.4 seconds away. We might be looking at something here at the end of the race that has us in a three-way battle for P3. If you asked me for a prediction, that's what I think we'd be seeing close to lap 60, is Wrench versus Tonic versus Skyline. Right? And O-Man is just he's doing what he needs to do, right? He's in P6 right now, likely because he did not do another pit stop, and he's still nursing that driver's side front tire, right, that he damaged a couple laps back. Meanwhile, Moose had pit already. So oh my goodness, guys, I can't tell you how much my heart sunk just now from just cutting onto this camera, and then almost immediately he's losing control. Oh my goodness. But fortunately, no commentator's curse. I'm just gonna do O-Man a favor. I'm just going to cut the camera away right now, because I don't want to be responsible for that. As the leader goes into the pits, Mantaneo just out here doing things for Vez Racing Team, looking to bring it home now. Final pit stop. Team Rad is in the pits too. Okay, so now we're gonna cut back to the front. Wrench is in the pits. Top three are in the pits. Is Tonic going into the pits? Tonic is staying out. Okay, so Tonic is going to gain a couple of spots here, but likely he's going to have to pit later. All right. Temporarily taking the lead. Okay. My goodness, just to even be able to say that you got to the front is a crazy accomplishment for the Race Asylum 1 team. Now, granted, we know that they're going to have to pit, right? P4, 5, and 6 are all in the pits, right? So we have Johnny Waffle, right, who's in the pits as well. Okay, so Moose is quite a ways back, right? Quite a ways back. We're gonna see what he comes out with in relation to P7 and P6. Right, as he comes around the final corner. Now, Moose doesn't have any more pit stops to do. O-Man just started fueling, so he's for sure going to gain P7. He's coming around to the exit of turn 1. O-Man is still fueling. Little squirrely there, and comes out just in front of O-Man there. So holding on to that P6, but now O-Man has fixed that damage. So we're definitely going to have a situation here. Now, Skyline. 4.3 seconds behind Mantaneo, who's just a second behind Tonic. So Tonic is going to have to pit. Mantaneo is going to reclaim the race lead for the Lexus. Okay. Once Tonic pits, so it'll be a question of how far down the order Tonic dips. Tonic is staying out again. Okay. Oh no, he's not. He's going in. Okay. All right. So quickly, Bidian there is 3.1 seconds behind, and Skyline is in the pits too. Okay, so Skyline and Tonic on the same pit strategy. Bidian there, P9 in the Lexus for Transatlantic Racing, coming down the mountain right now. 3.1 to Medway Racing League's Johnny Waffle. Okay, we're looking at this situation here. These guys are all in the pits. Wrench, who pit earlier, is coming around the corner now and is going to take back P3, at least for the time being. So now it just becomes a situation, like I said before, Skyline and Tonic. Okay, Skyline and Tonic are closer than they've ever been, and this is just a straight shootout until the finish, right, between P4 and P5. So we're gonna keep our eyes on that. We're gonna keep our eyes on the battle between P8 and P9, okay, because that's starting to close too. Shoot, I should probably write this down. So we're looking at the situation between P8, P9, just because I don't want to, I don't want to miss it for you guys. Okay, so P8 and P9 is the 1 second. P2 is a good 20 seconds behind P1. That's looking like it's, unless unforeseen circumstances happen, knock on wood, that that's pretty much going to hold until the end for the next 19 laps. We have Wrench here sitting solidly in P3, but again, that gap between Tonic was at 15 seconds. Right now it's at 11, so we'll see how if that gap can come down at all. And I'm looking at Tonic, who is actually holding on to P4. So this would be a net 7 positions gained, right? Started P11 up to P4, no pit stops left. It's a drag race to the finish of the stint. Race Asylum 1 is going to be in a great position, only 37 seconds behind the leader, after this first stint. However, Skyline and the number 2 Porsche has something to say about that. Currently P5, started P5 for the IRO V2 endurance team, but did the stint with one more pit stop than most drivers on the grid. So we will simply see if he can close that 3.8 second gap, 3.7 second gap to the Corvette in front of Tonic. 11 seconds behind that is Moose. So I got another thing to write down here, guys. I totally forgot about this. So we're looking at P4 versus P5, but we're also looking at P6 versus P7. P6 versus P7. Don't forget. By the way, thank you guys for tuning in, especially this early if you're watching on the Eastern, if you're watching in the United States, it's definitely early for you. Hope you're enjoying your breakfast. If you're watching in Europe, it's probably closer to lunch. So hope you're enjoying your lunch. We've got some battles here at the end of the first stint. Okay, so don't want to miss out on this P8 and P9 battle as well. You can see Johnny Waffle making his way up the hill. There's a blue flag situation somewhere that they have to be aware of. But Bidian is right there in that Lexus. Lexus versus Nissan for P8. Just a minute off the leaders. So, depending on who's driving in future stints, all of this gap can be made up and then some. Like I mentioned quite a whiles back, is that we had a situation where a particular driver ran out of fuel, right? And then lost a 1 minute lead in the span of, I don't know, half a lap, just because of the speed reduction when you run out of fuel. Okay. Speaking of fuel running out. Oh my gosh, heartbreak right now for One Community Racing. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I can ever commentate again, because it seems as though every time I bring up a scenario, something happens. That's gonna be a tough trek back into the pits to fix that damage and refuel. But we're looking at 8.5 seconds between Tintin, who honestly has done an outstanding job for Team Rad, right? Getting from P6 to P2. Quite a good drive there. Wrench, 8.5 seconds holding on. Started pole, but did well to just stay steady. Put their team in a good position going into stint 2 to hold on to a podium position. Okay. Looking at Tonic here, the gap is down to 2.1 seconds there. Every time you see the camera there for Tonic, you can see Skyline just lurking in the distance here. That Corvette's got straight line speed, but that Porsche has got some good cornering. All right, so we got to keep our eyes on that one. P6 and P7, something happened here. Oh, you know what happened? Something must have happened to Moose, because it was old man chasing Moose in this battle. I mean, surely we wouldn't have it. No. Okay. Something happened here with Moose, and old man already, just in the time that we looked away, is 5.2 ahead. So, you know, that might be checkmate on that battle unless something happens here. We're looking at Johnny Walfa here, just trying to use the slipstream of Hercules, who's moving out of the way in good fashion. Okay, Bidian, who's going to encounter this blue flag situation pretty soon here. Right, 2.4 seconds away from it, so it looks like at the next straight, which is start finish straight, if he's close enough, then you know, he'll surely be moving out of the way. Looking at Walter, he's 40 seconds behind Bidian, 8.4 ahead of Ricardus LTU. Ricardus LTU has a 1 minute 13 seconds gap to Hercules, who we just saw was moving out of the way of the leading lap traffic. Hercules has a gap here of the Speed Buddy car to the One Community Racing car of Johnny, who is 4.25 seconds behind the leader. Okay, going back to P4 and P5, we're gonna keep it here for at least the time being, as Skyline has closed this gap down to less than a second. My goodness. Oh man, it's getting spicy. You know, things are coming to a climax now. I mean, Skyline has just been whipping that Skyline around. He's not been whipping the Skyline around. He's been whipping the Porsche around this entire time. You know, honestly, with the pace that he's been setting, I'm surprised that he's not further up. But that might just be due to the three-pit strategy. Yeah, the 3-pit strategy instead of the 2-pit, because he's been constantly setting 2-minute flat times, and in fact he has the fastest lap of the race this far with a 2-minute .490. And you can see here as he comes out of this corner, perhaps dealing with the dirty air a little bit. Oh yes, he did have damage earlier in the race. Gotcha. Appreciate it, Justin. You know, sometimes over a course of 2 hours, you forget a little bit. Okay, so 7/10 here between Skyline of Aero V2 Endurance and Tonic of Race Asylum Run in a Porsche and Corvette, respectively. But it looks like it's just a matter of time before Skyline cozies up to the back of Tonic here and tries to use the slipstream to get by. You can see here that the Corvette, you know, just at times a little bit more sluggish going through corners, but you can see that there, regardless of that fact, got a better exit going into this long straight here than Skyline did in the car behind. Yeah, Skyline's gonna, you know, catching is one thing, overtaking is another. And there's only a couple more laps left. So if Tonic wants to hand that RA1 car off to his teammate in Stint 2 and P4, he's likely going to have to do some intense defending in the laps to come. And I say that, but Skyline had an issue. What was that issue exactly? Is the car... Wheel stopped. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I was like, oh, why is the menu paused? I guess I guess it's fortunate that the pause button was hit, because that could have been worse. That could have been worse. Okay, so that gap is now up to 3.7, so Skyline's gonna have to do that work all over again. But you know, it doesn't necessarily have to happen all in the next 13 laps or so, 13, 14 laps or so. There's 5 more stints after this to get that position back. And it's interesting that I say that, because when I first started speaking on that fact, it was 3.7 seconds, and now it's down to 3 and closing. So Skyline is really pushing here. Plenty of tire left. 2.8. Oh, there's a blue flag situation. A blue flag situation. Now Sector 7 Racing Phoenix, you know, they're not obligated to get out of the way until right now. They did so earlier, but it likely cost Tonic a little bit of time there. Oh, we have another disconnect. Oh man, disconnect. The race's fastest lap setter just disconnected. Oh, we have our second disconnect of the race. That is so tragic. Oh man was setting the timing screens on fire, and unfortunately his team is going to have to incur a little bit of a setback there, disconnecting on lap 47. So Moose is going to inherit P6. Let's see. EMR endurance. Okay, let's go back to this Skyline versus Tonic situation. Oh boy, so we had 2 disconnects. They were on lap 47. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's such a disheartening thing to disconnect from a lobby, especially so early on. But you know, the good news is that, you know, I don't think that they're going to be set back too far, considering how late into the stint we are. You know, they were making moves there in P6. P6 currently in Moose is a minute off. So, you know, hopefully they're still on the lead lap when they rejoin the next stint. But, you know, Ray and the good folks at Race Asylum will handle that calculation and get them back onto the track in a smooth and orderly manner. By the way, I didn't mention it before, but this whole production, if you're new, sure, if you're new to this channel and you're wondering what's going on, this is the IRO Gran Turismo Endurance Championship put together by the folks at Race Asylum. I am a race director for this first stint of the 12 hours of Bathurst. And this is the second split of drivers. So the way that this works is that you know, endurance races happen. The first round was 24 hours of Daytona. This is round 2, 12 hours of Bathurst, and the drivers for each team take 2-hour stints. So at the end of this stint, they will go into the pits, and then the moment that their car is stopped, they will hand off to their teammate who's in a different lobby for the second stint of the race, all the way until the end of stint 6, which will be, you know, approximately 10 hours from now. Yeah, and it's interesting because it's just like I said, right? Maybe about 40 minutes ago, that things are shaping up to be a battle between P4, P5, and P3. The two of them, Tonic for Race Asylum 1 in the number 9 Corvette, and Skyline in the number 2 Porsche of IRO Endurance, IRO League Racing. Sorry, let me get that right. IRO V2 Endurance Team, right, at P5, and Wrench in the Infinite Octane Eclipse Racing Lexus, car number 55, that they would all be coming together sooner rather than later. So for the time being, you know, we'll definitely stay here on Tonic because he's in between both of those cars, and just see what he's seeing, right? Surely he saw Wrench on the straights, so it's kind of like putting a carrot on a stick in front of a rabbit, or, you know, one of those toy rabbits on the thing when dogs go racing or something like that. Needless to say, Tonic probably sees Wrench in the distance and is like, I can get them. I can get them. That Lexus has got nothing on this Corvette. That's what he's thinking. But at the same time, Skyline in the Porsche is like, Corvette, Schmorvette, I'm about to get this P4 from Tonic right now. Watch and learn. Damage be damned, excuse my language, esports. I'm gonna close in. You know, I got set back a couple laps ago by my wheel disconnecting, and the gap was up to 3.7, but already it's down to 1.4. I've got the pace to do this. I'm believing in myself if I'm Skyline. Right, to not only get P2, but to get P3 in the next 11 laps. Right, now they both can see Wrench there. Right, so Wrench might be being told by their race engineer, hey, we got to pick up the pace if we want to hold on to this P3. Let's see if that can happen. Certainly tire wear is a little bit of a factor. The lap times have been slowly but surely coming down. 2 minute 2.2, so might be a combination of the tires and the nerves here, because you can see just there, Tonic, Skyline fighting each other, but definitely gaining on Wrench here. Okay, and before they do, oh my gosh, before they catch, Skyline might be doing an overtake there as well. Right up on the back. I was going to cut away for a second, but let me not. You see Skyline there, firmly tucked in the slipstream. Going to have to deal with a little bit of dirty air as we get a little bit of net code, maybe, that's affecting the situation. Look at those progressive downshifts, keeping the car stable as you go down the hill. Rule number 1. Getting a good exit there. Still within slipstream. Now this corner is super, super important. That looks like a good exit. So if we're not talking at the end of the chase, we might be talking about the end of the lap. Final corner, as you can see Wrench there just going over the crest. Here's where the slipstream starts to matter. You can see the time starting to come back down a little bit, and if he brakes late, gets this corner right, we might be talking about less than half a second at the end of this complex here. Yes, down to 4/10. So it's all setting up here. Two crucial left-handers to end the lap and start the lap. And if Skyline gets this one, we might be talking about No problem, Rick. I didn't even finish talking about what this is about because the race action was happening here. This is the IRO Gran Turismo Endurance Championship hosted by the folks at Race Asylum. I am your race director slash commentator for stint number 1 of split number 2 of the 12 hours of Bathurst. Now that's a lot to process, but if you're interested in endurance racing and what quite frankly is the best endurance league that Gran Turismo 7 has to offer, there is a Discord link that I'm sure somebody can share to get yourself involved. We have 2 splits of 14 endurance racing teams that are competing this season. Drivers are being picked up left and right. There's a teammate finder channel, so if you're interested, you can at least put your hand out there. Maybe someone will pick you up. I know that 2 members of my community got involved after seeing stint 1 or split 1 participate, and they got picked up by a couple teams here. One of them, for example, Moose, who's in P6 right now. I'm not going to cut to him because look at this, they're closing on Wrench. Is that Wrench there? Let's look. Is that Wrench? 1.8 to Wrench. Oh my gosh, it's all popping off here. So what's going to happen first? Is Skyline going to get to Tonic, or is Tonic going to get to Wrench? And what happens when these 3 come together? Anyway, as I was saying, someone, you can join their Discord, find the teammate finder, get yourself on a team, and participate in the next round, which is the 8 hours of Red Bull in a month's time. So enough of that. The folks at RA are great. I've been trying to tell you what this is for a while. But yeah, just join that Discord. You can find out what it's about. Oh, it did. Okay, nothing happened there yet. The Tonic has got to defend. Tonic has got to attack. Skyline's got to attack. Wrench has got to defend. Oh, it's all come together. Purple sector won by almost a full 10th from Tonic there. Who's got a lot to think about, a lot to consider right now. A lot to consider now for a Tonic. Just getting this Saturday started. My goodness, it's like I can't imagine the sweat that's pouring down his face. Hopefully he's got a good fan on him, because this is surely coming to the climax. I'm so glad that this prediction is happening. I know I'm supposed to check in on other things right now as a race director, but as a commentator, as a viewer like you guys, I can't take my eyes off of it. Look at Skyline just closing, and the 2 of them closing on Wrench. Wrench is at this point probably praying like maybe these 2 will take each other out. Maybe they'll battle a little bit more before catching me. Maybe I can just hold out, just defend long enough. Just defend long enough to get my car into the next stint as P3. And I'll tell you what, no matter what happens here between this 3rd place, 4th place, and 5th place car, the Porsche of IRO, the Corvette of Race Asylum 1, the Lexus of Infinite Octane Eclipse Racing, just as this stint is coming to a close, the start of stint 2 is going to be amazing too. Now, what I need to do is get that link for stint 2 if the race director is hosting it, so that way you guys get teleported in over there as soon as this race ends. But look at this. Look at this. Who could have predicted that we'd have a 3-car battle like this at the end of 2 hours of racing? Lap 54 of 61 racing laps. Tonic closing on Wrench, who's being closed. Skyline is closing on Tonic. He's right up to the bumper, right on his bumper right now. just got to be careful not to, you know, make a mistake. It's crucial right now. Yes, you want an overtake. Yes, you want both positions of your Skyline, but you definitely don't want to get damage right now and lose out on all the gains that you've made, especially considering that you had damage earlier. As they go down the hill, just closing ever so slightly, getting a little bit loose, but so does Tonic. You can see the pressure is mounting for all three of these drivers. Skyline because he wants these positions, Tonic because he wants one position and defend another, and Wrench because they want to just stay ahead in all of this. But as they make their way to the chase, it looks like, looking at Wrench, 9/10 out. That Corvette gaining, the American horsepower of that Corvette, the power of an orange livery made by JP. Trying to channel everything possible, everything tangible and even the intangible things to get that Corvette in front of the Lexus. Coming out of that corner now, firmly within slipstream range. 3/4 of a second, and if Tonic gets a good exit here, things are going to be on this lap. Any one of these positions can change, as you see Wrench taking the inside line, recognizing that they're already under threat, but then, you know, after calculating whether he's close enough or not, moves back to the racing line to try and get a good exit out of this corner. Now, for the next series of corners up and down the mountain, Tonic is going to have to deal with dirty air, and so is Skyline, who's just as close to Tonic as Tonic is to Wrench. Coming up the hill, these are a series of crucial corners where one slip up and you can be grazing the wall and capturing damage either on a wheel or the front bumper, or worse, the rear bumper. Right, you want to keep it together, keep it close, just don't make any mistakes. Be patient as Wrench gets a little bit too much of the curb. It gets a good exit there. Now onto the even more difficult section going down the mountain. Tonic holding on, keeping the Corvette under control, getting a really good exit out of there as Wrench gets a little bit of snap oversteer. The most important corner of the track, and Wrench gets a good exit. So does Skyline. Skyline half a second behind, but the Corvette just close. Oh my goodness, the Corvette is just pulling. Guys, we have quite a finish to this battle that we're going to experience together. It makes it worth waking up at 3:50 a.m. Eastern time to just witness what we're seeing here. All of these cars are within 4/10 of each other. Look at this. At the tail, the head. My goodness. Where else can you get something like this? Where else can you get something like this? Yes, unfortunately we had two disconnects earlier from 10/10 Racing, and later from oh my gosh, this is just so intense right now. Sorry guys, I can't even. Oh man, for the BMW, the number 20, the number 24 DMR Endurance BMW. Oh my gosh, look at this, a potential move around the outside by Skyline, tucking back in, remaining patient. Skyline just looking, putting his nose in, sniffing for the opportunity to get an overtake done, as the two of them still continue to close the gap to Wrench. These three cars, they have to be careful, right? Getting an overtake is great. Making sure you get no damage is way more important, as we have 5 racing laps to go. Okay, really quickly, I'm just going to scan through the grid as a race director has to, okay? So that way you can DVR it if we need it. Okay, 12 racers left, and we're gonna go right back here. Okay, someone can pause. Ray, if you need that stuff later, you can pause and rewind. But this is something right here. Tonic didn't get quite as good of an exit that time going into the chase. But again, that top speed. Skyline still searching for that opportunity, knowing that right now they're running 201s. Skyline knows that he has 2-minute flat in that car. If he could just get ahead, maybe he can pull away. Down to a 202.4, so you can see that this battling between the three of these cars is costing them time. Wrench moving over to one side, likely just measuring whether or not Tonic has enough slipstream to challenge into turn 2 as Skyline goes purple by a 10th here, right? That slipstream helps in the long straights, as you guys know, but you know, going up this mountain section, really the only chance of getting an overtake done here is if someone just makes a drastic error, which Tonic is counting on Wrench to do. Oh my goodness. Look how close this is. Less than a car length. It's a lot of trust that you have here to make sure that the person in front of you... Oh, he taps the wall. No damage. Wrench taps the wall as well. The three cars all within one car length, and Skyline goes a little bit wide, gets back on track, collects themselves dirty tires. Got to be cognizant of that as you go down the hill. Any slip up here and could mean the end of your race, but he does well to collect it. Gets a little bit of understeer going into that second to last corner before the straight, so now Tonic is released, at least temporarily, from the pressure of Skyline, as he had to deal with those dirty tires. So looking at this from Wrench's perspective, okay, there's a little bit going on here. Skyline has dropped off a little bit, but if I'm in the mind of Wrench right now, if I fight with Tonic too much to keep this position, Skyline's going to get right back into this thing. You can look at there as we look at the rear wing of the Lexus RCF 2017 of Wrench and the folks at Infinite Octane Eclipse Racing, that race asylum number 9 Corvette of Tonic is just continuing to be a threat. Now with that gap down to 6/10, one has to wonder if that Corvette power is enough in the slipstream to get this position back, and at least currently it does not look like he's closing quite fast enough to get a move done. But again, it's about just making sure you handle the mountain section appropriately and getting a good exit out onto the chase, right? That exit means everything. You get that one exit wrong and it's pretty much goodbye to your P3. So you can see here, right, Tonic likely being held up just a little bit by Wrench here, right, as tire wear becomes more and more of a factor. Just look at that front right tire. It's less than 50% of life left in that tire. All right, so every single right-hander that happens, especially right-handers on a downhill section like this, that car is going to be slow coming out of those corners. You see Tonic just coming really close to the wall there. He escapes, but he has a 1 second penalty. Oh, that is crucial right now. He's gonna have to serve this right here. So Tonic is, almost certainly going to lose this position to Skyline. Right, so he serves it, but then he's gonna tuck right back into the slipstream of Skyline. So Skyline gets a position for free 99. Free 99. And is making the move to give their shot at Wrench. So Wrench went from defending Tonic until Tonic made a slight mistake there, a track limits penalty in the mountain section, to now defending against Skyline, who's like, okay, now it's my turn. I'd like to try and take this P3. And Wrench is just trying to throw a wrench or a spanner, because they're, representing the UK in the plans of Skyline and Tonic here. So looking at this again, the Lexus here, a good top end, the Skyline sitting in the slipstream. How much longer can Wrench defend? Now again, we're talking about this lap 60 and lap 61, so we're talking like 2.5 laps here as Skyline gets a little bit of twitchy coming out of that corner. And a little bit further in the background, you see you see Tonic there, who's not out of this yet. Just know that even though Skyline is just right on the bumper of Wrench is not going to make this easy. Not going to make this easy whatsoever. Right? And you can see Skyline just struggling a little bit in the turbulent air there. Oh my gosh, Wrench going almost a little bit too wide. Skyline closing the gap on the downhill. Definitely braking a little bit later, a little bit lighter. All in anticipation of getting a good exit here. You can see Skyline right up to the back. Coming out of the corner. Oh, 4/10. This is on. This is on right now. You see Tonic just drifting away a little bit. Skyline salivating at this opportunity. Right behind Wrench here in the chase. Not going to get it done before this left-right hand combination here. But potentially going into turn 23 or going into now looking like turn 1. Between turn 1 and 2, Skyline is looking to get this done. That's now speaking of fuel. Can't exactly see the percentages left, but you can see that with 2 racing laps to go, this lap and the next lap, the last thing you want to do is run out of fuel. So you can see there again, 3/10 and closing, 2800s, 2600s, 2500s, 2/10, 1900s. The right hand turn here, looking to get a good exit. You see Skyline here using all of the track. Wrench cutting the exit a little bit short, just trying to make sure that they don't get onto that curb there, because if you get onto that curb, especially with worn tires like this, as Skyline is right on the bumper of Wrench defending for their life right now as they go up the hill, hoping, praying that the dirty air can cause a mistake by Skyline, because you look at it right now, Skyline is just on a mission right now. As they head towards the downhill section, a lot of time can be gained and lost. And like I've said laps before, that last left-hander means everything. You can just see less than 2 car lengths here. Oh my goodness, it is. Oh, he's going a little bit deep, taking an alternate line there. But you can see now it's 3/10 as Tonic is closing the gap by 3/10 themselves in that Corvette number 9. Again, if Skyline spends too much time behind Wrench, Tonic is going to be in this. Tonic is only 2.1 seconds behind. Which direction is Wrench going to go? Wrench is taking a defensive line, putting the car in the middle of the track, making it difficult for Skyline to make a decision. Getting just enough of an exit. Is Wrench going to defend into the final corner? Yes, they are. Just squeezing him just a bit, a little bit of a send, gets it stopped just in time. Oh my goodness, take a breath everybody, we're on our final racing lap. Okay, at the end of this lap, everyone is going to pit. Skyline just getting the car lined up here. Wrench is just leaving a little bit less than a car's length on the left-hand side. Skyline is going to have to take the outside here. Wrench still has the advantage. Wrench is still ahead going into this this right-hander here. Keeps the position. You can see the time to Tonic behind in P5 has decreased by just a second in the span of a couple corners because of all this fighting between P3 and P4. Tonic is back in this. Tonic is looking to be to upset this party and take P3 for themselves. But at the moment, I got to take a look at P1. P1 is 24 seconds ahead, just cruising, making their way into the pits. P2 is 24 seconds behind and 21 seconds ahead of this battle right here. P3 now is just, oh my goodness, just holding on for dear life. Oh my goodness. What are we going to see here as we cut to P1? P1 is entering the pits right now. We're just going to keep going back and forth between Wrench here, who's oh my goodness, it's less than a car length between them and P4. P1 is still yet to get to the pits. P3 is defending, putting the car right in the middle of the track, moving over. Is kind of just putting their car in just a position to make it confusing for Skyline, but Skyline gets the move done. Martineo in the pits. P2 is in the pits, has not touched yet. Skyline takes P3. Wrench is right behind them. P5 is right behind them too. They're all going into the pits now together. The car for Team Rad has not come to a stop yet. We're just gonna observe all of these pit stops here. Oh my goodness! Take a breath, guys. Stint 2 is starting right now. I need a link. I need a link to send you guys there. My goodness, this is incredible. P3, P4, P5 are all started right now. So if you have a link, search it. Maybe the race director is streaming it. I'm trying to find the link right now for you guys. As P6 comes into the pits right now. Moose racing for full throttle racing, good results starting from P11 to P6. MRL, Johnny Waffle, just behind that, coming into the pits now. We're going to stick with each team as they make their way into the pits. Just to figure out their situation. Oh, okay. P8. Okay, I thought someone was continuing on further than that. Okay, so P8 making their way into the pits right now at the end of this lap. Then we're looking at maybe another lap between P8 and P9. There's a little bit of a lapse difference there. P8 making their way into the pits now. But my goodness, the battle between 3, 4, and 5 is going on right now in Stint 2. And bear with me, guys. I'm still trying to secure that link for you guys, so you guys can go there right now if you want, or okay, I have the link, guys. I had the link and then I just clicked away. Okay, so P9 is in. P10 is currently making their way to the end of the lap. IRO. Okay, I think I have it here. Okay, P11. P11. Okay, Hercules making their way in. I'm gonna pin this link here. Okay, so you guys can all click that link, whether you're watching on YouTube, the short feed, or if you're watching on Twitch. Okay. I'm going to pin that link for all of you guys. You click that link, you can go watch that battle between P3, 4, and 5 right now. I'm sure it's crazy intense right now. But yeah, I'm going to stick here because, you know, my responsibilities as race directors come first and foremost, obviously. But I'll be in that chat with you guys shortly to partake in that action. Because, my goodness, I'm not sure who's going for these teams in Stint 2, but it's bound to be super intense. As Hercules makes their way into the pits, and then last but not least of the racers who did not disconnect is Johnny here. In the 911 Lexus. Whew, man, my goodness, guys. Oh, and we had a medium situation. Okay. See, I was so focused on those other battles that I tell you, man, it had me at the edge of my seat. Waking up super early, definitely worth it. I want to thank the Race Asylum folks for allowing me to be a race director and streaming this first stint of the 12 hours of Bathurst. That link that's pinned in your chat will take you over to the race director view for stint 2, hosted by Race Asylum Moss. So be sure to go over there and give him some love and enjoy the next 2 hours of racing. And shameless plug here myself at the end of this is I'm McNaughty. This is my YouTube channel / Twitch channel. If you enjoyed the racing action and you just want to hang out another time, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It's all free, easy things that you guys can do to help out the channel. Okay, all right. So once this car is stopped, okay. Okay, that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm just gonna set up the raid functionality, so that way when this stream is done and this broadcast is done, you guys can get insta teleported over. If you're watching on YouTube, that is, you guys can get instant teleported over to RAOS and see what's going on with them. As they come around to finish this race. Us does not allow for people to raid him, so you guys are gonna have to click that link that's pinned in chat. Okay, click that link that's pinned in chat. You'll be able to watch stint number 2. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the first stint of 6 today for the 12 hours of Bathurst. Some crazy intense racing. I can't wait to see what's next. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for me. I'm gonna sign off now. Handle my morning duties with the family. Get some breakfast, and I'll see you guys in that chat. All right. Take care. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys in the next one.